Okay, so I am about to make dinner with y'all. Gotta get my hair out of my face for eating. Yeah, I'm gonna make food, I'm gonna eat it, talk to you guys. But I don't know what to make because I really want like buffalo chicken. Obviously vegan. We're still vegan. Always vegan. But I really want that. I want to eat buffalo. Like, my nose always runs when I eat anyway, but especially when I'm eating something spicy. And I'm not trying to be like that much of a hot mess up on here, but I might just go with a Beyond Burger or Impossible Burger, but that's like a little messy too. Should I do wings, mac and cheese, or burger with fries? I'll think about it. What is my stomach truly telling me? So the heart wants what it wants, okay? We're gonna do the daring breaded plant chicken pieces. If you hear Godfrey, he's scoffing up his food right now. But I'm gonna do like dipping sauce with buffalo, like buffalo and ranch. So it's not like tossed in it, so I'm not like totally dying of the spice, you know? And then I'm gonna do the Amy's frozen vegan mac and cheese because they changed the recipe back and it's good again. We got the OG recipe, so love that. I also like to dip the chicken in the cheese, so yeah, I'm just gonna put this in the air fryer. I'm honestly probably gonna end up making the whole bag, I don't know. Okay, I changed my mind. I'm only doing half the bag, you know, because we might have a little dessert. And the whole bag really is like too much, but sometimes you get a little leftover, you know. Also, I have these like parchment paper air fryer liners, which really helps keep your air fryer clean. I actually have a bunch of these little sauce ramekins because despite literally everyone I know encouraging me to steal these from restaurants when I go out, I don't do that, okay? I bought a pack on Amazon. Anyway, my point is, since I'm like a little bit of a fiend, I like habanero buffalo, like more than I just like buffalo. So I found this Yellowbird organic habanero. I think they make one that's not organic, but like why not get the organic habanero sauce? And I mix this in, like just like a little bit, mix this in with the buffalo sauce, and it just, I really like the flavor it adds. So I'm gonna do that. I'm also gonna mix these two ranches, the Daya one, which yes, it is pronounced Daya, not Daya. I was always wrong. And then the Hidden Valley, like vegan one, which I can't ever find this, but my friends left this at my house because they know I like it. So I'm gonna mix those together because I don't love the Daya one. And this one's almost like a little too ranchy for me. So I feel like when I mix them, I get the right amount of ranch. So I was trying to set my camera up to where you could see the food and me while I was eating, but that wasn't working out. So here's the food in all its beautiful glory. Trying new things, y'all. So let me just say, I don't enjoy watching people eat, but a lot of times when I eat dinner, I'll go live on TikTok and a lot of people say how much they like it. They'll be like, I like to eat with you, or like it encourages me to eat. So we're doing it. I also asked my best friend what kind of videos I should do, and she was like, just do like talking, like eat, like whatever. She's like, people just like to listen to you talk, and I'm like, okay. So that's what we're doing. If it's not for you, I completely understand. So I guess like, where should I start? I think I'll start with one like interesting thing that I found out recently, which was, so you know how I was on antidepressants for a long time, and you know, I talked about getting off them, all that good stuff, but I also, a very big theme here was tattoo regret, right? And I like went into like a whole list. Oh shit, I just dropped my chicken into my ramekin. Woo! Also, don't forget to take your supplements if you need them. I'm taking vitamin D, zinc. Woo, woo. Guaranteed, there's definitely gonna be lip liner here. A whole line. Anyway, tattoo regret, that whole thing was like also a theme of my life, right? Well, I actually found out recently that impulsivity was a side effect of Zoloft, which is what I was taking. And finding that out, like literally, like I had such an emotional release. Because that makes so much sense. Because when I think about me as like a kid and me now, I was never an impulsive person. And I'm not an impulsive person, like at all. But I was incredibly impulsive during that time of my life. And I talked about that a lot, like when I was talking about tattoo regret, about just like how impulsive I was. And I thought that was just like, you know, I thought that's just how I was during that time period. It never occurred to me that that could be a side effect of a medication, you know what I mean? So that was also very validating for me. Also kind of confusing, because I was like, wow, like I experienced ego death and like had all these realizations about like why I got tattooed and like just why I made the decisions that I did and all that stuff. And like, I still think all of that's true. But at the same time, I'm like, was it really as deep as I made it out to be, or was I just on medication that made me hella impulsive? And I just searched for like a deeper meaning. I don't know. Like I said, I still think everything I said was like also contributing factors, but I don't think I would have made the same decisions if I wasn't on the medication. You know what I mean? Which is like a tough pill to swallow, no pun intended. But at the end of the day, I'm just like super happy with how I turned out. And regardless like of how I got here, I still got here, you know? I'm happy. And in general, like I've been trying to be less personal with the stuff I put out there, but since I shared, you know, so much about both those things, I was like, yeah, I gotta tell them that. Because that's definitely something, you know? Here goes my nose running. Because really, who would have thought? Like, I was like, wow, that really makes so much sense, because I'm very anxious. I overthink literally everything, especially before I'm like trying to make a decision. Like, impulsive? Not me. I'm definitely not impulsive. Like, I'm such a critical thinker and an overthinker, so I really think that, yeah, being on that medication definitely had a bigger impact on my choices than I thought. Which, who would have thunk it? Also, I should be using a fork, but why use a fork when you have nails? So yeah, on that note, I've just been in general trying to take more like me time, you know, trying to unplug. When you think about it, like, I've been a content machine literally for like over a decade now. Like starting literally like back from MySpace onto Tumblr to YouTube to Instagram to TikTok. I've been a content machine. I have been posting weekly on at least one social media for a decade. And it's like, obviously, I like social media, right? Like, I like it, otherwise I wouldn't be doing it. But at what point does one experience some level of burnout, you know? And I really just like was forcing that level of productivity to the point where like it just started to become like a pressure on myself. And I really like what I do. But think about, so like I'm posting on Instagram like every week. For YouTube, I was posting also once a week for what, like at least 8 years before I had to take a little break. And then TikTok came around. I was posting like every 3 days on TikTok. And I'm doing all of that while I also have like other jobs. Like I'm still a hairstylist. I still have my Etsy shop. I still work part-time, like doing electronic testing. Like I have other stuff going on. I feel like I felt like I had to just be productive all the time. And I also just enjoyed being productive all the time because it made me just like feel good. It like distracted me from my anxiety. If I'm always doing something, your mind's like always occupied, right? But yeah, so I just like started to feel like a content machine, and I was like, no, I need to take a step back, unplug, focus on some self-care. You know, as we know, I've been doing therapy and all that good stuff, which I'm still in and like still loving, and that's still doing really well. But I was like, I need to take this a step further. So yeah, I'm still posting, still doing all that. But I'm just doing it in a way where I'm putting less pressure on myself, and I'm actually taking some days where I'm like, you know what? It's gonna be okay if I don't get any work stuff done today. Granted, I'm still usually being productive in another way, whether it's like cleaning my house or like doing laundry, but that's just the kind of person I am. Like there's just always something that needs to be done. But I've been making myself take more time for self-care. Specifically, now that it's nicer out, I've been riding my bike. Just like a leisurely bike around the neighborhood, but it's also really good exercise. And I have, of course, I have a pink bike. So I put my little music on my phone and I get to ride on my bike. And it's so zen and so nice and so just like awesome. And it's so nice to be in nature and like feel the sun on my skin. It just feels so good. And also like I'm taking more baths. I talked about this in like my favorites video, how I've been just like doing the zen bath, you know? And it's really nice. And like sitting in my massage chair, just taking some more time where I'm like, okay, I do not need to be productive from the moment I get out of bed to the moment I get back into bed. I don't need to do that. And it's so hard because especially with social media, the way it's set up, it's like basically set up to be addicting. And as a creator, like just constantly trying to keep up and like exceed, to hit certain milestones or to just whatever, like it's just, I'm tired of this game, you know what I mean? Like I'm just here to be me. I don't want to play the game. I never even really wanted to be a content creator. I just put myself out there. And like once I start looking at stuff as like content rather than just like stuff I want to do, it's like that's when it goes downhill. So we're not doing that. I don't want to get there. So that's why, yeah. It's like I need to just take a little step back, you know, reevaluate, recenter myself, and like live in the moment, enjoy real life, just the little things like the sun, nature, like feeling the sun on my skin, like smelling fresh air, like feeling the wind in my hair, like, you know, like it's just, this stuff sounds so simple, but when you spend so much of your life just like really out of it without even realizing, it takes a lot to like actually recenter and like become present. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be so personal and put it all out there, but since this is all related to like me and my like existence on the internet, and I just thought I'd say it. So I want to warn y'all about this product. I already tossed mine, but I'll put a picture. They call it like a bling ring. And it's this thing that you like put around your ignition in your car. Like that's what it's made for. It costs like a couple bucks. Really cheap. Cute little car accessory. I have a bunch of cute stuff in my car, so I really didn't think twice about it. Like this is its intended purpose, right? So I got one and I put it in my car. Went about my day not really thinking about it. And I went to start my car after like going out to eat or something. My car wouldn't turn on, it was like stalling. I was like, what the hell? So I like had to like slam on my brakes to get my car to start, and I was like, that's concerning. Hopefully it's an isolated incident. Went about my day, whatever. Came back to my car, got in my car, and the same thing happened. And I was like, this is not good. This is really bad. So I was talking to a few people about it. Someone who knows a lot more about cars than me was like, let me change your battery and we'll see what's good. I was like, okay, word. Change the battery, same thing kept happening. So they were like, oh, I think this is potentially a transmission issue. Like, you should take it back to the dealership. And I was like, man, come on. I was like, this car has been through so much. Like, I've been on mad road trips in this thing, like driven it all over the country. This thing survived a flash flood. Like, you're really gonna give out on me now, like after all this time? Like, what the hell is going on? So I called the dealership and I'm like, this is what's happening. Like, can I make an appointment? Can I drop my car off? And they're like, yeah, it's a like I forget what they said now, but it's like $170 something diagnostic fee to do diagnostics on the vehicle. And I was like, oof, okay, you know, gotta do what you gotta do. I'm gonna follow advice. I don't know that much about cars. Like, okay. And I was like, also, give me an oil change while we're here, you know? Because might as well just feed two birds with one stone. So the guy calls. Looking at my car. They didn't have to do anything to it yet. You know, he just sat in the car to turn it on. And he goes, how long have you had this thing around your ignition? And I was like, you know what? Now that you mention it, I started having the problems literally the day that I put that on. So he's like, let me just peel it off and like see what happens. And I was like, okay, sounds good. So he peels the sticker off. And when I tell you sticker, like, it's literally a sticker. Like, it's like a metal thing with rhinestones on it, and then like double-sided tape in the back. It costs like $3. They sell it like everywhere, even some like auto places. So he peels the sticker off, and my car turns on. Yay, right? So first I'm like, wow, I feel really stupid. Then I'm like, wait, why would I feel stupid? Like, this is literally what this device is designed for. But I was like, how does that happen? And they said that like, I guess the metal on it can mess with like a transponder, or if you have like a push start, it can mess with like the chip in the key. Again, like who would have thunk it, right? So then I was like, okay, good. There's nothing wrong with my car. Like, hell yeah. I go to pick it up. Tell me why it cost me $300. I was like, how did we get here? Like, what do you mean? So I'm looking at it, and for the diagnostic and the oil change, it was like $279 or something like that. And like, I know, I don't want to hear you shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? I'm not good with confrontation. If that's the price they're trying to charge me, first of all, I'm just never going back to the dealership ever again. But I just was not in the headspace to like argue with, and it wasn't even like the person who did the repair that's giving me this receipt and like making me pay, right? It's just like this innocent man that works in the office. It's not his fault. I have to burp. So I, you know, learned my lesson, but yeah, I paid, and then I got in the car and I cried. I cried and I cried and then I drove home because I was just like, you literally didn't even need to do anything to my car. Like, y'all really couldn't have just thrown the oil change in with the diagnostic. Like, if you have to charge the diagnostic fee, if that is your policy, whatever. But y'all really couldn't throw in the oil change then, because all you did was peel a sticker off of my ignition. Like, what the hell? So anyway, the point of me telling this story is, don't get that. Don't get a little bling ring for your car. It's just not even worth it. You're spending a couple bucks. I had no idea this could happen, and I looked it up after, and like, this has happened to a bunch of other people. There definitely should be like a warning on this product. Luckily it didn't like actually do damage to my car. I don't know if it's capable of doing any like actual damage, or if it's just something that messes with it like that. But I just don't want you to make the same mistake I did. And also, if you're someone who has that on your car and your car is having like weird issues, take it off. because it could be that. Just a little, don't make the same mistake I did. Also, I need to know, like, I feel like I always ask, but please go to my IG and leave a comment and tell me what you want to see from me on here. So many people are like, you just need to find your niche and like crank it out. I'm like, I don't want a niche. I don't want a niche. My niche, I guess, was like tattoo and piercing content for a long time, but that was like an accident. I was just like talking about my interests. But like my priorities in like life is just so different now, you know? I don't want a niche. I don't want to me that's like branding. Like that's like you know, people who are trying to like I don't even know. That's just like, and that's fine, like good for them. That's just not how I'm trying to be. Obviously I want to be successful in my endeavors, but like I want to do what y'all are interested in. People say vlogs. Not really trying to do vlogs because like I want to be present in the moment. I feel like that's a theme I keep bringing up. Like I want to be present in the moment in my life. I don't want to view things through a screen. Also, like most of the things that I would vlog are like either like I do mini vlogs on TikTok when I'm okay with just doing like a little bit of vlogging. But anything that would be like super interesting enough for me to vlog is like stuff that I cannot vlog, you know? Yeah, I don't know. So vlog, no. People say house tour. I'm not trying to do that either because y'all have seen like all the interesting like parts of my house. Y'all already seen it. There are some wackadoodles out there, and people have gotten themselves into like major doo-doo from like showing the inside of their house and like the view from their house and stuff like that, because I know most of my viewers, very well intended, great people, love y'all, like mean it. But there's some wackadoodles. There are some whack-a-doodles out there. Real shit. And then, yeah, some people are like, cooking videos. I'm like, you know I don't cook. You know, like with that video of Cardi B where she's like, you know you don't pay her rent. Like, you know I don't cook. You know I put this stuff in the microwave. I keep the air fryer on me. I'm literally in my pajamas today doing this. Oh my god, I forgot to do a thumbnail with my food. Oh, I knew I would forget. So now I have to do it with no food left. So where it kind of looks like I have food left. Oh my god, do I not have lip liner on my chin? I did so good. I guess that mostly happens when I'm eating burgers. But yeah, so, I mean, I don't know. Hopefully this appeals to those who just like listen to me. Listen to me talk about nothing. I'm gonna still keep doing favorites and hauls. Because that's what I like. That's what I like to do. But like I said, suggestions always, 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 always welcome. Do I have dessert? Like I want some. Hold on. Okay, I mean, I don't even have anything left to talk about at this point, but I'm still eating dessert and you're gonna be witness. Okay, Abe's vegan devil's food muffins. Put them in the microwave, right? And then I eat them with the True Whip. It's so good. It's so, so good. I'm telling you, you can literally put the True Whip on anything and it makes it automatically better. Oh my god. Yep. I think I'm gonna need some alone time to finish this. So please give me my dessert or privacy, because this is literally the only intimacy that I care about. This is literally more intimate than me than like anything in the world. This is literally the most pleasure I can experience. Is dessert. So yeah. I'm gonna finish enjoying myself. Thank you for bearing witness to my first eating show. Unless you see me do this on TikTok, but I digress. Okay, I digress. Hopefully there's some chocolate or food on my face because that's very embarrassing. And yeah, I will talk to you next time. Goodbye.